Hi friends, this is Ravikant Miriala. Let us have a quick review of CA Final Financial Reporting July 2021 paper. Yeah, we'll be not discussing the solutions for this. The solutions I'll be coming out with another video, maybe in a 2 days gap, right? But right now, like what this paper consists of, which all the standards are covered, and how is it difficult one, or is it moderate, or is it very easy, right? Such kind of things are going to be discussed before we get into the main review discussion. Yeah, let's look at our upcoming classes, right? See, we as an SS Academy, yeah, associated with an academy, and all our faculty are going to teach online, that is with an academy, right? This program, as part of this, yeah, I am going to start, my class on GFRS is going to start from July 21st, that is from tomorrow, right? We will be covering almost 50 study case studies, in-depth analysis, and interlinking between one standard to another standards, that is Ind AS, right? And in-depth analysis, and I can say that your concepts on financial reporting, whatever you learned, is going to be strengthened for sure, right? If you face all the problems in one company, how do you need to account for? That's what we are going to learn from GFRS class, right? And this class is going to be in, daily 3 hours, right? Evening session 6:30 to 8, and 8:30 to 10, 1.5 hour, 1.5 hour per day, 3 hours, totally 25 days. So 75 hours we are going to cover. I feel 50 plus we will be able to cover in total. 50, more than 50 case studies we are going to cover in total. And yes, to subscribe, we have our batches, correct, for CA final. Number of our faculties are teaching, right, for FR and audit, and for FR and SFM combination, and DT and costing, right? My classes on financial reporting are also going to start from September. Yeah, that will be for maximum 50 days, morning evening, means morning 3 hours, evening 3 hours. We will be completing in 40 to 45 days we will be completing with number of doubt sessions and everything. And you have a limited offer right now, which is like, if you take a subscription by entering the code YESHAS, 12-month subscription, if you take, you will get additional 2 months subscription, right? So you can subscribe and you can take the benefit of it. Yeah, this is right. And actually, entire group 1 plus group 2, you'll be able to complete it in 12 months. That would be more than sufficient. That's what my feeling. Okay, right? Let's get into the review, how the paper was exactly. Okay, right? Chalo. Now, what are the right? As you know, the paper where students have to attempt for 100 marks, correct? And first question is mandatory question, and in this first mandatory question, this time they have asked 16 marks question from consolidation. That consolidation also chain consolidation. Yeah, holding, subsidiary, sub-subsidiary. Yeah, holding is into subsidiary, subsidiary has stake in sub-subsidiary. Then how do you do consolidation? I feel it is a basic question. There are no complexities as such, just testing on the consolidation. In case of step, what is that, chain consolidation. That's all, right? There are no major complications as such in this question. Most of the students would have attempted this, and whether balance sheet is tallied, not tallied, but they must have done it properly. That is what I feel, right? And the next question, that is for 4 marks, it has come from Ind AS 1. Yeah, from Ind AS 1, which topic have they covered? That is basic, very basic, current and non-current asset classification. Yeah, you must have studied already. If you want to say an asset is a current asset, it need to satisfy 4 conditions, right? Which is held for trading purpose, which is for the purpose of consumption or realization within the normal operating cycle, right? This is one. And cash and cash equivalent always are current assets unless it is right, I mean blocked for more than 12 months, otherwise it is current assets. These things basically, if you have satisfied any one of the four conditions, then obviously it is a current asset. That question 99.9% most of the students would have answered, and such kind of similar questions are already there from ICAI material. And for your information, 70 to 80% of the questions, not exactly same question, my dear friend, not exactly same question with numbers, obviously slight changes they have done, but they have done a good job. Okay, slight changes they did, and I mean the tweaking part they have done good job, and they have asked in the examination, right? And the next question was again one more beautiful question, but this question was already asked in the previous examination. It's a repetition of previous examination question. Yeah, here they are linking Ind AS 16 plus 40 together, and this has 8 marks, right? What is this question about? They say they have three properties. Okay, one is like fixed asset, another one is also fixed asset, and the third one is investment property. Yeah, and they have done some mistakes, like for investment property they want to follow revaluation model, which is not possible, which is actually prohibited, correct? As per Indian GAAP, that is Ind AS. As per IFRS it is allowed, that is the carve out, you must have studied, right? So such kind of things, like they want to do depreciation, they don't want to do depreciation on the revaluation model or something like that. I mean that errors they have, there are errors, and since it was already asked in the previous examination, I don't think so students would have found it very difficult on this. Actually basic question, right? I hope they must have answered it very well, right? Next one is Ind AS 115. This is also again for 12 marks question, and the main concept in this Ind AS 115 revenue from the contract with the contracts with the from the customers, right? It is basically discount allocation. Yeah, they have some 4 products they are selling. Okay, all right, normally some suppose say A, B, C, 3 products they are selling. Okay, B and C normally also they will sell it for a discount. Yeah, if it is proved that generally these B and C items are going to be sold for a discount, then discount should be allocated only to those items, correct? That concept, that's all, that only discount allocation based, but they have given it in like situation 1, situation 2, situation 3, situation 4, something like that, right? And one more product has been added, then how do you allocate the discount, especially discount allocation? That's all, that was the topic which was asked in the examination. Next one is a straight question from the ICAI material, right? Ind AS 115 question was not there in the ICAI material, but Ind AS 41 question straight away from the ICAI material, and that is agriculture. They have got some livestock, right? How do you value those livestock? That's all, basic question, and straight away there is no changes as such compared to ICAI material except numbers, right? So I think if whoever have studied that question would have answered it for sure. And the next one, this is Ind AS 36, which is impairment of assets, and the question was very easy, right? They said like they bought a fixed asset, fine, and obviously they have to depreciate, and they have given the what is that value in use at every year, some 3 years information they have given. So what will happen in this 3 years information? First year you may find impairment, another year you may find further impairment, or third year it may be a reversal of impairment. So how do you account this impairment and reversal of impairment? That's all. That's why it is not very difficult, and actually it is not difficult. It is also one level of base question only, not very difficult question. So this is for 6 marks they have asked. Okay, and the next one, this is somewhat a good question, right? And not difficult. Ind AS 12 linked with Ind AS 21. Yeah, actually Ind AS 21, there is a foreign currency transaction between the holding and subsidiary. Yeah, one company sells goods to another company at a profit, and on 31st March there is stock lying with the another company. The buyer has the same stock, so there is unrealized gain part. Correct. So unrealized gain part related, aren't we supposed to create deferred tax asset? Yes. So that was the basic, testing in this question, which was for 5 marks. I think the time also, it won't take too much time for the student to answer it. Right. It would be more than sufficient, I feel. Right. And this 109, India's 109 employee loan. This question was previous examination. I think January 2021 itself, they have asked the same question with little number changes. Yeah, they have, company has given a loan to employees. Company has given loan to employees, and they have said very clearly, as per the plan, employee has to pay me like in 4 installments or 5 installments, something like that. Every year, employee has to pay 5 lakh, 5 lakh, 5 lakh, 5 lakh, something like that. But employee in one of the installments, what he did, he paid double installment in 1 year. Then obviously there is a change in the liability. Correct. So as per Ind AS 109, initially a loan is supposed to be recognized at, loan is a financial liability which should be recognized at fair value. Correct. And they have given at a reduced price, reduced interest rate. So, and what is the normal bank rate, they have taken it. So you need to discount it. And when the employee has paid more amount actually for repayment has happened, again you are supposed to recompute it. Yeah, and that difference is supposed to be adjusted with the loan as well as with the profit and loss. That is supposed to be accounted for. This is again, telling you exactly same question which was asked in January 21 itself. That is just last attempt, and with number changes they have asked in this current examination, right? And it was for 14 marks. And there is one more question, 5 marks question with respect to Ind AS 109. That is just convertible debenture is there. A debenture, you just need to bifurcate it between equity and liability. That is Ind AS 32 related question. It doesn't matter. I treat Ind AS 109, 32 plus 107 all together as one, because all talks about financial instruments. So totally 19 marks have come from only one group of standards, that is Ind AS 109. So you can understand the importance of that. That is just not for examination, my dear friend. Throughout your life, you must have the knowledge of Ind AS 109. If you say you studied all standards or except Ind AS 109, I am skipping for examination, means, in my personal way, I say, no, you don't know anything about Ind AS, because your Ind AS knowledge is not complete without 109. That's all I can tell for sure it is. Okay. And the next, one more thing, it is actually testing on the first adoption. First time when we are entering into Ind AS financial statements. Okay. There is one government grant, the company had got it. When they got it, they have transferred it to capital reserve. Okay. And now, but a capital reserve concept, that capital approach does not exist with respect to Ind AS 20. Ind AS 20 fully follows revenue approach or income approach, right? So every government grant is supposed to be transferred to profit and loss in rational and systematic fashion, right? So then how do we deal in case of first adoption? That is one small question was asked for 6 marks. It won't take too much time actually to answer. Yeah, but you need to elaborate what is as per Ind AS 101, correct, and what is to be done as per Ind AS 20. Merge and writing. For writing the concepts, it will take little time. And one more question is on CSR, right? This is also very basic question. Such kind of questions were already asked, and if students have reviewed the previous year examination questions, he will be able to answer it without a doubt, right? And the next question, one good question I should say, this is Ind AS 33 related, right? There are contingencies of options. Options are included to the employees under each circumstance. Because of these contingencies involved, right? How do you, under these circumstances, how do you calculate a basic EPS and diluted EPS? Yeah, this kind of questions are already there in my Ind AS Made Easy book also, right? Same kind of questions are part of our material for Ind AS discussion. And okay, this is not that difficult question. At the same time, this is not that easy question. Student need to apply their good amount of knowledge, then it will be easy. Otherwise, no, it will take considerable amount of time to think and answer. Yeah, that's why obviously marks also, even 8 marks have been asked. And Ind AS 108, again 8 marks question. Same kind of question was there in the previous examinations. Yeah, it is again repetition of previous examination question, except as usual number change. And easy. This is just, there is no calculation part as such. This is just disclosure segment reporting. Just disclosure part. They had given the information. How do you prepare? You have to put the numbers in one particular sequence in Ind AS 108. That's all. So it is again repetition. Second time it is getting repeated. Fine. That is about Ind AS 108 operating segments. Right. Next, 116. This was actually expected in the month of January and December examination itself. Okay, but it did not happen. But COVID related exemption. Okay, there was an amendment to Ind AS 116 with respect to, because of the COVID situation, many people have done, for the rents, some people they said they deferred the rental amount. Some people they said, no, you don't need to pay rental amount for these 2-3 months because there was no business, right? So with respect to that, there was an amendment in Ind AS 116. Right, that question was expected in the month of January, but okay, anyhow, no problem. In the month of July, they asked right now, but it was for only 4 marks. Maybe, 4 marks is fine. Every mark is important, as you know, right? And it was not a difficult question. It was, moderate question. It is just a matter, if you remember that 4 lines of content, then you will be able to answer. That easy it is. Next. Ind AS 34 plus and 2, right? That is as part of interim financial reporting. Yeah, inventory valuation they have asked. Then how do you allocate the fixed overhead? This kind of question is there in ICA material straight away, right? As usual, fixed overhead is going to be allocated based on actual capacity or normal capacity, whichever is higher, right? Same concept you are supposed to apply even in case of interim financial reporting. It is not something different. There is no separate application of, what do you say, inventory valuation with respect to interim. Same concept. That small thing I said, let the normal capacity or actual capacity, whichever is higher, that rule only is supposed to be applied. Okay, right. Next, Ind AS 102, share based payments. Yeah, this question was, straight away, they have cancelled the share options. Yeah, in case if you cancel the share option, what are we supposed to do? You should book the expenditure. You should book the expenditure as usual, as if it is, for the next remaining number of years, you have to book it in the year in which it is cancelled. And whatever you have paid, that you are supposed to try to use it from the equity reserve, correct? And the remaining will be transferred to your retained earnings. That's all. This is the only small concept they have asked, but that's why there were marks also not that many. It was only for 5 marks and very small topic it was. Okay, and the last question, that is Ind AS 38 plus Ind AS 103. As part of business combination, when we acquired another company, the other company had some intangible assets which were not recognized in their books. That is, the seller company books does not have these assets. Okay, but we have purchased it. At what value are we supposed to recognize it? As per the Ind AS 38, right, you have to recognize it all the time at fair value, even though the probability of the getting the money or not getting the money, because our probability of higher probability, lower probability is already considered as part of fair valuation. If you have higher probability of success of some license or some product, then fair value would have been more. That's all. So that such kind of questions are also were asked in the past. It is not something new, and I think this is the third time they're asking such kind of question in the examination, which is pretty easy, right? That's all, my dear. These are all the points. I mean, these are all the standards they try to test, right? Approximately like 50% of the standards have been tested. The overall question paper is moderate. It is not very difficult at all. Maybe some students must have found it a little lengthy, correct, possible, but that also student can overcome. You can overcome with bit better practice. That's all. If you try mock test and etc., then you don't find that problem as well in your attempt. Right. Thank you. Thank you very much.